Hi everyone, it's chapter 16 today, back in the hive. 2 minutes later we're checking through the trees again. Where are we going now? Trent says. He wasn't happy about being woken up, and I genuinely think he would have refused to take off the oxygen mask if we hadn't told him the hunters were on their way. I've been thinking, I say. Everyone except us has been alienated now, right? And they think we're hiding in the woods. So we go back into the building, says Aid. The centre is clear as far as they're concerned. The security cameras are off thanks to Chet's. I don't think they'll look for us there. Are you mental? Trent says, far too loudly, considering we're being hunted by hostile aliens. I'm not going back into that place. You don't have to, Adrian says. You can stay outside on your own. It's a good idea, Lance. We can hole up, get a bit more rest. Mac really seems to be struggling. He can hardly keep his eyes open. And we can get a closer look at what they're up to down there, says Aid. Who cares what they're up to, Trent says. All we have to do is keep out of their way for one more night. The coach will be back tomorrow morning and we can get the hell out of here. It can't hurt to do some more recon. I don't have the energy to argue about this with Trent. Why does he have to make everything so hard? Our friends have turned into alien bugs. Don't you want to be able to help them once we get out of here? He just shrugs. Nice, Kat says. You're willing to sacrifice yourself to save the rest of the class, Trent says. Then you're idiots. We're not idiots, Trent. We just want to do what's right, I say. Yeah, you're so perfect, aren't you, Fangs? Wouldn't ever do anything horrible to anyone, like shut them in the toilet so they miss the Bing entrance exam. Shut up, Trent, I say. Still haven't told them? He smirks in his infuriating way. I thought they were all such good friends. I'm scared to tell them because of the way Chet's reacted, but I'm so sick of this hanging over my head. It's been 9 months of lying. 9 months of being afraid that the truth will come out, and I'm done with it. Fine, I say. I did trap you in the toilets, Trent, and if I was in that situation again, I'd do the same thing. Finally, I'm telling Miss Hosh if she ever stops being an alien. I told her this morning, I say, and I'll take whatever punishment she gives me. Is that what you and Chet's argued about? Kat says. I nod. We've stopped walking and are standing in a circle in a small clearing in the trees. Why did you shut him in? Kat says. And I'm surprised because nobody's ever seemed to care about why someone trapped Trent in the toilets, only that someone, aka me, did, and that it was a despicable thing to do. Because I didn't want him to get into Bing, I say. I was in the toilets and I heard him talking to his mates. Trent looks down and starts scuffing his feet in the dry dirt. He said that Bing is going to be ultra competitive, that he'll have to go in hard and prove himself if he wants to be top dog. He's planning to use Chet's to make his point. He's going to make Chet's life miserable so that everyone knows he's not weak. I realise I'm breathing fast and my heart is thumping in my chest. I feel like I might faint. He said that with me out of the way, he'll be able to do whatever he wants to Chet's, because I won't be there to protect him. Did you tell Chet's that? Max says. No, not that part. He's super excited about going there and he should be. He's so smart. I don't want to ruin it for him, to make him scared before he's even started. Why didn't you admit it was you straight away though? Max says. You don't normally lie about stuff. Because Hosh already had it in for me. If she knew I did it, she would have excluded me. And then I wouldn't be with any of you guys and I wouldn't be able to keep Chet safe. When Chet stops being an alien, you need to explain this to him, Kat says. He'll forgive you, I know he will. And what about you guys, I say. Do you hate me? I do, Trent says. Well, that's no loss, Adrian says. I don't hate you, Lance. I don't think you went about things in the best way, but I can understand anyone wanting to shut Trent away in a room. I'd have probably done the same thing if I'd been there, Max says. Or possibly something worse. You did it for the right reasons, Lance. Katya puts her arm around me. She smells of coconut cupcakes and warm milk. You're a good friend. And just like that, the secret that's been burning a hole in me for months is out. And my friends are still my friends. Well, except Chet's, but I'm going to make that right. Thanks, guys, I say, and I take a stupidly long time rooting around in my bag for my water, even though I know it's in the back pocket, because I don't want them to see how close I am to crying. Unbelievable, says Trent, and he storms off ahead. It isn't long before we can see the roof of the centre through the trees. Trent crashes towards it like a hungry T-Rex chasing its prey. I'd say our chance of surviving are significantly lower with him around, Adrian says. As we get closer, I realise something big is going down at the lake. There's a lot of noise, like at the dam site, but times 100. We're at the back of the building, so we can't see what's going on, but whatever it is, it's keeping the bug eyes busy, so we can sneak in without being seen. Our priority right now is getting Max set up with the CPAP. It looks like hell. His eyes are red, the skin around them a worrying grey colour. We make our way to my room, which is exactly as I left it, fit the mask to his face and switch on the machine. He lies on the bed and is asleep in literally 3 seconds. It's weird seeing him like this. He's the biggest of all of us, and with his shaved hair and muscles, he usually seems so tough. Now he looks like any other kid, all tuckered out after a long day. So what now? Kat says. We need to find out what's happening by the lake, I say. Trent and I should go, as we've both had some sleep. You and Adrian can wait here and chill. I'm not going out there. Trent is sitting on the floor and has got out a pack of cards. He doesn't even look up. Adrian opens her mouth to argue with him, but I stop her. To be honest, I say, I'd rather do something. Keep moving. If I sit down, I might pass out. Same, Aid says. Okay. Kat sits down and leans back against the bed. I'll stay and watch Mac. Be careful, guys. You too, I say, and if anything goes wrong, feel free to sacrifice Trent. Chapter 17. Stuff gets bad. Aid and I decide to leave the building by the back entrance and make our way round to the lake from the outside. It's late afternoon and there's no breeze to relieve the scorching heat. The air smells stale, like last week's PE kit, and my skin itches. We edge around the red brick wall, past the security office and the fire exit, until we have a good view of the lake, or what's left of it. They are draining it, Adrian says. Look, they've dug a channel that leads out of the crater for the water to run down. I think that's a pump so that they have running too. So what do you think happens when the lake is empty, she says. We know they hate water, I say. It's too cold for them, and it's a lot of trouble to go to when they could easily just avoid going in there. So you think there's another reason? It's the only thing that makes sense. They're trying to accomplish something, and emptying the lake is part of it. But what though? The end of the world, I say. Aid looks at me. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? We need more information. Agreed. Are you up for getting a bit closer? I say. She's running for the tree line without bothering to answer. You have to respect her conviction. She's a girl who gets things done. I guess there are pros and cons to this alien invasion business, but one major bonus has been spending time with Adrian. All those years at school together, and I never really knew her at all. Life or death dramas are great for bonding, apparently. Who knew? We use the trees as cover and make our way around the main clearing to a place where the lake comes closest to the trees, separated only by a path, just wide enough for cars to drive down. To our right is a biggish building, kind of like an upgraded garden shed, or one of those creepy barns in movies where the murderer keeps his victims tied up. The grass surrounding it is long, dead-looking and full of buzzing insects. There are tyre tracks leading from the road through the yellow grass to the giant front door, which is open a crack, so I reckon the staff keep their cars parked in there. We drop to our bellies and slither through the grass like snakes, only less stealthy and with more under-breath swears as we get scratched and bitten by insects. We stop at the side of the serial killer shed and watch and listen. See how low the water level is already, I say. It's at least a metre lower than it was when we swam it earlier. That lake saved us, and now it's disappearing scarily fast. Aid doesn't answer, so I look over and I see that she's dozing off. Aid, I whisper, scared to give away our position. Her head starts to droop forwards. I nudge her hard in the side with my elbow. She jumps awake with a yelp that sounds like the noise my cat makes when you stand on her tail. A group of bug eyes standing by the road all turn and look in our direction. We flatten ourselves down into the crispy grass, and I hold my breath, not that that's going to make a difference. 2 of the bug eyes start walking our way. The shed, I say. I don't want to go in there, but there's no time to hide anywhere else. The bug eyes are a little way off and the front of the shed is angled away from them, so there's a chance we might make it. We belly wriggle towards the door, open it just wide enough to squeeze through, and then pull it almost shut behind us. Can you see anything, Owl Eyes? I ask Adrienne. It's so dark in here, visibility is pretty much 0. Not much, but there's something big over there. I think it's a van or something. We should hide underneath it in case they come in. She's right. I know she's right. There's something about this shed that gives me the proper creeps. Going deeper in is like swimming inside a shark's jaws. It can only end badly. She grabs my arm and leads me through the darkness. I could just about make out the van she was talking about, though it's covered in a cloth or a tarp or something. We feel our way around and crawl underneath just in time. The shed door is pulled open about a metre, and through the weave of the tarp I see sunlight flood in. I edge forwards to take a peek. If they find us under here, we have nowhere to run, so it's pretty risky. But we can't waste an opportunity to find out more about what's going on. A bug eye walks through the open door. It's not one of the hunters. I think it might be Krish. There's another bug eye behind, but he's looking the other way, so I can only see the back of him. It looks like the same guy that Hosh had tied to the chair in the office. There doesn't appear to be anything out of place here, chair guy says. It's possible the noise was an animal, but we must be cautious. The other bug eye is definitely Krish. He's gazing around at the shed. I don't think I've ever held my body so still. It's almost painful. This stage of the incursion is vital. The lake must be emptied. We cannot be delayed. But we are on course, says the chair guy. The lake will be drained by sunrise. The sun's heat will reach our brothers and sisters who have been trapped under that repulsive water for so many years. Then they will be free to fly and find new bodies to take root in. It will be liberating to leave the confines of this crater, says Krish. Nothing will stop us. Chair guy turns around and my heart almost bursts out of my chest. I see nothing unusual here, says Krish. Let us get back to work. The 2 bug eyes leave the shed. My heart is pounding and my mouth dry. We wait a minute before moving. Then we inch out from our hiding place. Aid, I say. Did you recognise that bug eye, the older guy? There was something familiar about him, she says, but I can't work out where I know him from. I swallow. Take a breath. I think it was the driver. Our driver? Yes, the one who's supposed to be collecting us tomorrow morning. Okay, this is bad. She balls her hands into fists and rubs her eyes with her knuckles. Does that mean the coach isn't coming back? I take hold of the tarp and pull it with all my strength. Through the light coming in from the open door, we get a good look at what's underneath. It's the coach. I feel tired, empty and sick. I don't think it ever left.